Is Max Verstappen truly disregarding team directives? Judging by the recent occurrences at the Spanish Grand Prix, a significant number of people seem to believe so. In this video, we will delve into the escalating power dynamics unfolding at Red Bull. Furthermore, Helmut Marko reveals the details of the intense exchanges between the team and Ferrari, which nearly resulted in the potential departure of their esteemed team principal, Christian Horner. But before we do that, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below if you like all things F1. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko shared his perspective on Verstappen's act of defiance, speaking to Sky Sports F1, stating, "We didn't want Max to set the fastest lap, but you can't stop that. He already had 3 warnings for exceeding track limits. You shouldn't risk anything in such a situation, but you can't be angry with him for that." Sharing his own perspective, Christian Horner appeared relatively unconcerned about the potential penalty that Max Verstappen could face at the Spanish Grand Prix. Nonetheless, he acknowledged the necessity of having a discussion about it. Verstappen's undeniable superiority over his Formula One rivals was once again on display. Beginning from the pole position in Barcelona, he effortlessly steered towards an unquestionable victory. Verstappen, known for his fiercely competitive nature, aimed to achieve with his engineer Gianpiero Lambiase, informing him of the situation through the radio. If Max Verstappen committed another infraction of that nature, he would have been subjected to a 5-second time penalty. In the grand scheme of things, such a penalty would have had a significant impact. However, had the safety car bunch up the field, it could have jeopardized Verstappen's chances of securing the victory. Nevertheless, Verstappen chose to defy the instructions to hold back. When questioned about his pursuit of the fastest lap, initially held by Sergio at that moment, Verstappen was advised to ease off and coast towards the finish line. However, the Dutch driver opted to disregard the instructions and instead expanded his lead by executing a flawless lap resembling a qualifying session, ultimately setting the fastest lap of the entire race. During a post-race interview on Sky Sports, Red Bull team principal Christian Horner was queried about this by Nico Rosberg. Horner responded, "He and his engineer have a relationship like an old married couple. You could hear them talking over the radio, almost like arguing over which channel should we watch. Having had 3 strikes, the next one was a time penalty. And if there was a safety car or something like that, that could have been extremely painful. The engineer is trying to manage backs and say, don't take any risk, bring it home, and keep it between the lines. Max, I think he wasn't aware he was exceeding the limits, and he just wanted that extra point for the fastest lap." When questioned by Rosberg about his intention to address Verstappen's apparent disregard for team instructions, Horner played down the seriousness of the situation but acknowledged the likelihood of a conversation taking place. Horner replied, "He's in the car and he knows. Of course, we'll talk about it. In a situation where there was more to lose than that, we'd talk about it very firmly. All we can do is pass on the information, and what he chooses to do with that information, he's in control of that." Toto Wolff, the team principal of Mercedes, openly acknowledges the exceptional level at which Max Verstappen of Red Bull is operating in the world of Formula One. Verstappen's sheer dominance throughout the current session is undeniable, emerging victorious in nearly every race and establishing a commanding 53-point lead over his teammate Sergio Perez in the championship battle. The extent of Verstappen's remarkable performance was evident as he effortlessly secured pole position, setting an astounding margin of over 0.4 of a second in just 1 lap during Q3. In the race itself, he went on to claim a comfortable 26-second victory over Lewis Hamilton. Thus far in the season, Red Bull has enjoyed unparalleled success, securing victories without facing significant challenges. However, Mercedes seems to have made progress with its W14 upgrades, as Toto Wolff suggests that Lewis Hamilton should have been competing against his former rival on the front row of the grid, rather than qualifying as the 5th fastest. When questioned about the gap between Mercedes and Red Bull after implementing the upgrades, Wolff addressed the media with the following statement: "I would love to give an answer, but I simply don't know. Verstappen is just on a different level. It pisses me off to say that, but that is the reality. It is a meritocracy. They have done the best job. The driver is excellent and they're just far away. This is something only we have on our hands to get under control." Reports have emerged regarding Ferrari's attempts to recruit key members from Red Bull, and Helmut Marko has provided some revealing details about the behind-the-scenes developments. It's an unexpected twist. Marko openly acknowledged that Ferrari made efforts to entice both Adrian Newey and Christian Horner, who came perilously close to leaving the team due to enticing offers. These offers included significantly higher salaries that would have cost Red Bull millions of dollars. Marko further disclosed that it took a last-minute change of heart to persuade Newey to consider signing with Ferrari, occurring just a night before he was scheduled to do so. These insights were shared by Marko during an interview with the Swiss newspaper Blick. He stated, "Luca de Montezemolo was already celebrating in panic and wanted to announce the deal. But during the night, we were able to change Newey's mind. It took me another entire night to convince Horner to stay at Red Bull, and it cost us millions more." Newey has openly shared that he was on the brink of signing with Scuderia Ferrari on 3 separate occasions throughout his illustrious career. The first offer presented to him was to become the chief designer for an IndyCar project, which he ultimately turned down. In 1996, Ferrari approached him once again with an offer that required careful consideration. However, Newey declined his opportunity as he prioritized staying in the UK to be close to his young family. The Italians made another attempt in 2014, tempting the renowned designer with promises of a glamorous lifestyle and an exceedingly generous financial proposal. Newey has previously revealed in an interview with Sky Sports F1, "I was very tempted to go there in the past. It's a legendary brand. They've contacted me in 1993, I think, and then in 1997 when I went from Williams to McLaren, and that was a very difficult choice. At the time, my children were very young and I didn't want them to change schools. If I had gone to Ferrari, I would have to move to Italy and it would have been complicated. This has had an impact. I was in a bit of a difficult situation. I didn't want to walk out of Red Bull because it feels like home, and I'd been heavily involved from the start with Christian, building the team up from the ashes of Jaguar to where it was today. I didn't want to walk out on that. But equally, I didn't want to be in a position where we were operating with one hand tied behind our back in the engine department. It was a very difficult decision. Ferrari came up with an incredible offer, very attractive, and it cost me a lot of sleepless nights deciding what to do and who to go for. In the end, it would have felt wrong to walk out on Red Bull." Do you believe Verstappen was justified in going against team directives? Or do you think he should have followed the instructions given? What are your thoughts on Ferrari's aggressive recruitment tactics? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video.